Okay, so we're going to go over the systems learn check, and I'm going to do each question. So if you missed a question, make sure you correct it and show all work so you can get partial credit. So what is the solution to the system here? So what we have to do first is we have to get these both as y equals. So for this one's going to be, I'll do the first one first. This is going to be 10x minus y equals 53. And I want to get y by itself. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 10x from both sides. I'm sorry, my handwriting is atrocious, but I'm on the computer. This would be negative y equals 53 minus 10x. And we have to get rid of this negative 1, so I'm going to divide each term by negative 1. So then we have y equals negative 53 plus 10x. Okay, so that would be this first system. Okay, now, whoopsie. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this next system. And sorry if there's interruptions. I'm in the teacher's lounge, so people might talk to me, so just ignore that. So then this one, I'm going to divide 2 from each term. So how this would be written would be y equals negative 13 over 2x plus 46. Okay, then I'm going to graph these two things. So I'm going to go get Desmos. I'm going to get my Desmos graph. Desmos. And it needs to be the star test mode. I don't know if this is star test mode. Let me go to Google Classroom so I can get the star test mode one, because that is the one that you can only use on the star test. Sorry. And I'm going to type these. So this first one's going to be negative 53 plus 10x. And then this next one is going to be negative 13 over 2x plus 46. And then here I can scroll. I'm making a video. And then I have my point of intersection, which would be 6 and 7. So that's what my solution would be. So I'm going to go back here, and my answer would be A. Okay. Next. This one, the system of equations is graphed here. So what we have to do is we have to find the line for both of these. So we're going to make some tiny tables. We're going to start with this negative one first, and I'm going to have x, y, negative 4, 4, negative 1, and negative 2. Now you can do this in stat edit. That's perfectly fine. It's going to be faster for me if I did this one by hand. So I'm going to do this one by hand. So sorry, this is negative. So from 4 to negative 2, I am subtracting 6. So my change in y is going to be negative 6. Okay, and from negative 4 to negative 1, I'm going to be adding 3. So my change in x is going to be plus 3. And then that is going to equal negative 2 for my slope. So for this one, my slope would be y equals negative 2x. Then I got to see where my line crosses the y-axis, and it's crossing at negative 4. Okay, so that's going to be my first equation I'm going to be looking for. Then I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do this one mostly in blue. Sorry for the confusion. This is going to be 1, 5. This is going to be negative 1 and 3. And then change in y is going to be negative 2. So that's going to be at the top. And my change in x is also going to be negative 2. Okay? which would equal 1. So my slope would be 1, so I can just put x, and it's crossing the line at positive 4. So it'll be plus 4. So these are going to be the two equations I'm looking for, and now I got to go scroll down and see where they'd be. So it wouldn't be f, it would be j, x plus 4, and then negative 2x minus 4. So j would be correct. Okay. And if I'm going too fast, you can always rewind and write it down. I'm going to be going fast. Okay, so for this one, you just kind of, how I figure these out is I match things that go with each other. Okay. So this first system is going to look like this. 2 customers went to the post office to buy postcards in large envelopes. Okay, each postcard costs the same amount, and each large envelope costs the same amount. The first customer paid $12 for 14 postcards in 5 envelopes. Okay, so for 14 postcards and for 5 envelopes, they paid $12. Okay, the second customer paid $24.80 for 10 postcards and 15 envelopes. What is the cost in dollars for each large envelope? Okay, so we know that 14 postcards plus 5 large envelopes equal $12. We also know that 10 postcards plus 15 large envelopes cost $24. That's terrible, Miss Whiting. $24, that's a dollar sign. And 80 cents. Okay. First things first, saying what is the cost for each large envelope? So we have to try to get the large envelopes by itself. So one thing we can do is we can figure out how much the postcards cost and plug it back in the system. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do elimination for this method because that works best for me. So now you can use any method that you like, but I'm going to use elimination. I'm going to multiply each of these by -3. Okay, and this is going to be a lot of steps because we're going to have to plug things in to find things. So we have to figure out what is -3 times 14. I'm lazy. I don't feel like doing the math, so I'm going to grab my calculator. Should have had my handheld, but I don't. So I'm going to do -3 times 14, and I'm going to get -42. So this is going to be -42p. Then this turns to -15L. And then this would be -36 equals negative. That's supposed to be an L. That's why. Okay. -36. Okay. So here, this is going to turn to -32. I'm going to make this blue again. These L's cancel out. And then I'm going to have 24.8 minus 36. Let's see what that is. 24.8 minus 36. And I get a -11.2. So I have -32p equals -11.2. I'm sorry, this is so sloppy. It works? Thank God. I was worried. Then I'm going to divide -32 from both sides. I'm going to see what that is. So I'm going to do divided by -32. And then we have 35 cents. So we know that the postcards equal 35 cents. But that doesn't tell us what the large envelopes equal. So now we're going to have to plug in, we're going to have to plug in 35 into one of the systems. I'm going to plug it into my top one, which was 14p plus 5L equals 12. So I'm going to do 14. The P for postcards is going to be 35 cents. 0.35 plus 5L sorry. Equals 12. Okay. So now I had to say, okay, what's 14 times 0.35? That is going to be 4.9. So this turns to 4.9 plus 5L equals 12. Subtract 4.9 from both sides. And then we have 12 minus 4.9. And then that's going to be 7.1. So then I have 5L. I'm going to have to move this up here because I'm running out of space. 5L equals 7.1. Divide both sides by 5. My goodness. And then you get $1.42 per large envelope. So each large envelope would cost $1.42. So your answer would be A. This is the elimination method. It does take a lot of steps. If you like to do this and solve this for Y, you can do that. You can make postcards X and envelopes Y, solve for Y, and you can get the same thing. I just did elimination because it was just they were lined up and I could do that way. But any method that you choose, you can definitely solve it. Okay. So just going down to question 4. There are 15 plates in a kitchen cabinet. The diameter of each plate is 7 inches or 12 inches. The diameter of all 15 plates equals 140 inches. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do either small plates, which is 7 inches, and large plates, which are 12 inches. Okay, so I know that 7-inch. Well, let me finish reading the question first. 15 plates and 140 inches. Which system of equation can be used to find the 7-inch plates, which are going to represent X, and then the 12-inch plates that will represent Y? Okay, so we know that 7X is going to be the 7-inch plates plus the 12-inch plates, which are Y, are going to total to equal 140. And then we know that X plus Y will be a total of 15 plates. So now we have to figure out which system matches that, and that is going to be C. Okay. Then it says, which graph best represents the system of equation? So this one, you would want to solve for Y, and I'll show you how to solve for Y. Everybody should know how to solve for Y because we've done it 100 times. But if you don't, I will do it again. 8X minus 4Y equals negative 16. We're going to subtract 8X from both sides. And that's going to leave us with negative 4Y equals negative 16 minus 8X. I got to divide each side by negative 4. And that is going to leave me with Y equals 4 plus 2X. So that's going to be one of my systems. Okay. Then we're going to do another one. I'm going to do this over here, the other one. I'm going to do this one in pink. And that is going to be 3X plus 15 y equals negative 6. I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. So we'll have 15y equals 6 minus 3x. Then we're going to divide each side by 15. Y equals 2/5 minus 1/5 x. Okay. So now that we have this system, we're going to plug these both into Desmos. So grab this. I'm going to go to Desmos. I'm going to type these in. I can see it, so just ignore me. So the first one was 4, I'll erase it afterward, 4 plus 2x. This computer is just so small. And then this next one is going to be negative 2/5 minus 1/5 x. Okay. So let me erase this at the top so you can see. So now that I have those two systems graphed, I can see the point of intersection would be right here. Negative 2 and 0. Hello.
All right. So everybody else is working. This printer.
So it would be
for some
B.
reason, it still has paper jam, so I'll turn it over to the printer second.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
This what is the value of x? So what I'm going to do is we can do the substitution method here. So we see that y equals negative 5x plus 32. So for y, I'm going to plug this in. So this would be 3x minus 5. I'm going to plug this part in. So it's going to be negative 5x plus 32 equals 22. And when do distributive property, so this would turn to 25x, and then 5 times 32. I'm going to just grab it on my, well, yeah, I can just grab it here. I don't feel like doing the math. Negative 5 times 32 is going to give me negative 160. Yay. Minus 160 equals 22. And then this would be a plus because it turned positive because negative times negative. And then we have 3x. Then we're going to add these. So this is going to turn to 28x minus 160 equals 22. Then I got to add 160 to both sides. And I'm going to have to move this equation up in the corner. And that's going to turn to, so that's a 2, 182. Put this over here. So now I have, these cancel out. So now I have 28x, which equals 182. We divide 28 from both sides. And then we're going to have 182 divided by 28. And you're going to get 6.5. So x is going to equal 6.5. You can also do the first system and solve for y, graph it in Desmos, and get the same thing. So your answer would be C. All right. Last but not least, I believe this is, we have 2 more questions. Hopefully I can get through it before the bell rings. The bell rings, I'm sorry. All right, so a customer paid a total of $6 for 68 copies at the print shop. Some of the copies were black and white and the rest were color copies. Each black and white copy cost 8 cents, and each color copy cost 15 cents. These are real life prices. Which system of equations can be used to find B, the number of black and white copies, and C, the number of color copies that the customer paid at the print shop? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to match things. So we know there's 68 copies, okay? And we know that B is going to represent black and white, and C is going to represent color. So we know that B plus C is going to need to equal 68. We know that the black copies cost 0.8 cents. We need to have 0.08, which would be the black copies, plus the color copies, which would be 0.15 C, which would equal $6. So now we have to go through and scroll which one works with what. It wouldn't be A. It wouldn't be B because this should be 8 cents. So the only answer it would work would be D. D would be the correct answer. Okay. Last question. The table of order pairs represents the graph of the line slope below. So this one, you're just going to put these in stat edit. Okay, so I'm going to grab my calculator. I'm going to press stat, enter. I'm going to go across, go up, clear, go down, go across, go up, clear, go down. I'm going to do 2, enter, 4, enter for list 1. And then for list 2, I'm going to put 7, enter, and then 10.5. Oh no. 5, enter. I'm going to do stat. I'm going to go over to calc, 4, enter, 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 enter. And then I know that this one is going to be y equals 1.75 x plus 3.5. Okay? Now I'm going to do the next one. We have stat, enter, enter. I'm going to go here. This would be -3, enter, -2, enter, go across, go up. This would be 4, enter, 0, enter. Then I do stat, calc, calc, 4, enter, 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 enter. And then this equation would be y equals -4x minus 8. So now I got to go through and figure out what answer choice matches what. And I see that F would be correct. And that would be my answer. Okay, guys, I hope this helps. Make sure you guys get this done before Wednesday because that's going to be the last day I'm taking grades. Have a great afternoon. Bye. Or great day or whatever.